Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show where we break down what's going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined, of course, by Joshua Burns and Brian Thornton, who is looking around frantically for something in his room.
Sorry, I was looking for my loot crate.
Well, speaking of Loot Crate, Brian, I want to talk to you about this month's Loot Crate coming up, which is Futurism.
Futuristic.
Futuristic. This theme is perfect if you are fans of Mega Man, Star Trek, Futurama, Rick and Morty, Valiant Comics.
Let's get on already!
There's going to be a lot of stuff, so you're probably asking, what is Loot Crate? Well, you haven't been listening to this podcast very often because Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box for geeks, nerds, comic book fans, lovers, or people who just love pop culture. Every month, you receive a mystery box full of collectibles, figurines, apparel, memorabilia. The t-shirts are pretty freaking awesome. Each box contains at least $45 in values, and many of the items are exclusive to Loot Crate. So you have until the 19th of every month to sign up for the box, and after the 19th, it's gone forever. You can never get that back again. Brian and Josh just got the Dystopia Loot Crate, and I saw the RoboCop t-shirt, and I'm so jealous.
I gotta think.
RoboCop's
I gotta think
crazy.
based on next month's futuristic theme.
I think we're going to do the DX.
I'm at the DX page right now, and the first thing it lists is Pacific Rim. I think I get one of those mech robots, one of those.
I will get the whole thing. Yeah.
So Brian, can you and I hive mind it and control one of these things?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
What if it comes in just one of our loot crate? Do we get to say who we share it with, or is it like? What if it comes with like a little Asian girl inside of it, and you have to hive mind it with her?
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I mean, that'd be helpful to have somebody to hive mind already.
She's already ready for the hive mind scenario.
Brian's like, that would be helpful. I guess that would be the word I would choose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Pacific Rim, Futurama, what else? Star Trek, and what else is in there?
Mega Man, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I'm
Valiant
gonna go DX this month.
I think I'm gonna go DX this month too.
So it's going to be awesome. Hey, guess what? If you go to thatkindofnerd.com/loot,
that's what I'm doing right now.
You can actually get a discount on your loot crates. It's very simple. Again, thatkindofnerd.com/loot, LOOT. So you can actually go ahead and click on the icon there, and you can use the promo code to save yourself some money, but click it so that way they know you came from That Kind of Nerd. Help support the show, and tell us how awesome your loot crate is when you get it next month. And I'm going to ask that Brian and Josh send me their pictures of this month's loot crate so that way I can post it onto the page and they can see it. So without further ado, loot crate. I like them. I'm glad that we're telling people to find people there. So guess what, guys? It's that time of the month again, in the sense that Brian has put together a list, a wonderful, masterful list of the movies that are coming out next month. Brian, you rolled your eyes, though. Come on, this is a good list. There's a lot of good stuff coming out in July.
Who rolled their eyes?
You did.
Yeah, because you're talking about the list like it's so gorgeous and masterful.
Masterfully composed.
Not just haphazardly put together by a madman at the end of the
Not
month.
slapped together, no.
No. It wasn't done right before the Facebook Live that we do at 9:30.
Masterfully composed.
So why don't you walk us through this, Brian? Why don't you tell us what's coming out this month? Well, next month.
Next. I mean, do you want to go over all of them? It's a pretty packed month.
Well, let's go over the big ones. What are the ones that we want to talk about?
Okay. Well, I mean, I want to talk about July 1st. Legend of Tarzan comes out July 1st, which I'm actually pretty excited for. It's obviously like going in the Disney more mature live action themed movies starring Alexander Skarsgård, who you may know from True Blood as, you know, the guy with ridiculously blonde hair in True Blood. Eric Northman. What was his name?
Sounds about
Something
right.
like that. And Margot Robbie, as well as you got Samuel L. Jackson and Christoph Waltz in there.
Just say Christoph Waltz.
I was getting there, CJ.
I'm super tepid on this movie.
You're tepid.
I am so on the fence about this. I don't know.
I'm super meh, Brian.
I mean, I enjoy the Tarzan story, so I'm gun ho for it. I'm ready. I think it'll be pretty cool to watch, you know, some gorillas beat the crap out of a couple other, you know, people and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm interested. So is there anything else you guys have to say besides the fact that you're tepid or meh?
Meh.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on. to the BFG.
I don't even know what this is. What does that mean?
It is based off of a Roald Dahl book, I believe, if I recall correctly.
What does BFG even stand
The
for?
Big Friendly Giant. It stands
Oh
for.
my god, I am hard passing on
I'm
this
out.
movie.
Yeah.
Listen, it's directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yes,
So-
it's still a hard pass.
Still out.
It's gonna be heartwarming.
Wasn't E.T. directed by Spielberg?
Yes, it was.
I've never
and
seen.
that was also
I've never
heartwarming.
seen that either.
You've
What,
never
you never seen E.T.?
Nope. Out. It just looks dumb.
It's E.T.
No, it doesn't.
Looks dumb.
That's something my MK Ultra training would teach me to say. That's terrible.
Your MK Ultra training would teach you the exact opposite. You'd be compelled to say how heartwarming it
He's
is.
a fantastic movie. Did you see Jaws at least?
Nope. I do know that we're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right, going back to the movie trailers.
BFG has no appeal to me.
Well, it has appealed to a lot of people, especially people who grew up reading that book in like elementary school. So,
Are you one of those people? Is that what this is?
I never read that book. I was a if we're talking about Roald Dahl, I was a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Matilda kid.
We really, guys. I mean, just there's like we buried the lead. There's a lot of cool shit happening
I'm
down this
getting there.
list that
A
isn't.
lot of people care about
BFG.
BFG. A lot of people
Getting
care
there.
about BFG.
Getting there.
Okay.
We'll skip the next movie because I have nothing to say about the Purge
Good
election
man.
year.
Skip it.
Skip. I have nothing to say about that. But in July 8th is The Secret Life of Pets.
And I can't see this trailer without waiting in the greatest anticipation for the end where the poodle hits the System of a Down. Right, Leonard, you be good, and and the poodle just starts rocking out.
The
And
little chihuahua that jumps
That's the
out of the
best
couch
part
out of
is the
nowhere.
chihuahua
looks-
just
and
like-
the little bunny who's crazy, and this whole thing looks fantastic. And every
It's so good.
Yeah.
And the cast list.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Solid
The
cast
amount of
list.
people in this movie. It's
yeah,
great.
you got Louis C.K. As the main voice. Kevin Hart is in it for those people who enjoy Kevin Hart.
crazy bunny. He's a crazy bunny.
He is the crazy bunny. Albert Brooks is in it. Lake Bell. Tara Strong, who is a huge voice actress.
Albert Brooks, regardless of the character he plays, makes you feel nervous and neurotic while watching him, which
It's very true.
I can't I'm actually very excited because I love Albert Brooks. Albert Brooks, he's one of those guys that I will watch regardless of the role. So I'm excited to see the movie. I think it's cool. It's not anywhere close to the best thing coming out, but it is.
It's one of the better.
It is the
animated
best thing
ones.
coming out July 8th. So there's that.
You don't want to see Mike and Dave need wedding
I
dates?
do very much.
No.
Oh, I
was
do.
gonna
I
say,
do.
yes.
I do.
This looks
Because-
funny.
I wanted to be funny, and it's not.
Zac Efron and Adam Devine. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Zac Efron and Adam Devine, and then Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick.
Aubrey
who I
Plaza
find
and Adam Kent. You
hilarious.
can't get. I think comedically, you probably couldn't put together, and apparently, like as much of the trailers lead you to believe that like Zac Efron and Adam Devine are scumbags. Like apparently, Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick are like,
the scumbags.
legendary level scumbags.
Yes. I don't know. I feel very nervous that this is just the thing like Dirty Grandpa was, where you saw the trailer and it's a completely different movie and it's a bad
You can't just
movie.
lump every movie in with
It's
Dirty
not the
Grandpa.
fact that Zac Efron's there. It just I feel like this
Can
movie
we give
is,
it a little bit of credit because Anna Kendrick and Adam Devine, because they're both comedic gold.
they really
yes,
are.
but they've all. I mean, they've had their misses. I mean,
Name one.
Mr. Right was a terrible
one
movie.
thing with Adam Devine you haven't seen him and gone, "Yep, this would not be as good without him."
Very true. I'll listen. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, every time I see that guy, his delivery.
He was in The Intern with
The Intern, which was a terrible movie.
Oh, I liked
No,
it.
no, no.
I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the
right,
ending.
we had no ending. Overall,
The ending
it
was
was
terrible.
terrible. But Adam Devine, like the way he stretches out like an expression,
Yeah. I
kills.
just started watching Workaholics, and
I need to watch that because I know he's in. He's great, but he's the one that made Pitch Perfect for me. Like that was
No, okay.
without him, that
Anna
movie
Kendrick.
wouldn't have been.
Anna
as good.
Kendrick made Pitch Perfect
No,
for me.
because
Yeah.
she was okay.
Anna Kendrick
but,
makes
like,
everything for me.
I think it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch.
It's definitely worth a watch.
I hope I'm wrong, so I will see this movie.
I like looking at Bryan Cranston sort of staring like this in this.
Yes.
Okay, real quick, hold on. Before we talk about this movie with Bryan Cranston, did you hear that Bryan Cranston just got cast as Zordon in the Power Rangers movie?
Yeah,
I did hear
Does
that.
that not
I have
make you
no
wanna go
idea
see this
what that
movie even
means,
more?
but I did hear it. I heard it and I thought CJ must have a nerd boner, but I don't know why.
I was present for that because I was the one who broke the news to him.
He did. He broke the news to me, and I had to go home and change my pants.
You had to swat the cat away from his nerd boner.
Josh, his pants turned red. Like that's how excited he was.
They glow red when orcs are around. Or
there weren't orcs or anything. He was wearing his mood pants.
Mood pants. And
Yes.
the cat knew that.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't.
There's not multiple cats. It's just the one because the
Just the one
ratio is
cat.
very low in Brian's palatial estate. The ratio of cats to males.
So let's talk about the Bryan Cranston movie. So
The
Brian, what is
Infiltrator. It comes out July 13th. Stars Bryan Cranston, John Leguizamo, and Benjamin Bratt.
It's basically the same story as Narcos.
Yeah, as I say, it looks like Narcos, but
but
Bryan
Bryan
Cranston.
playing the guy. But it's still the Pablo Escobar story, right?
Yes, it is the Pablo Escobar story.
It looks phenomenal. Everything about
The
this
trailer,
is like,
the trailer was very solid, and what's studio, Brian?
Everything that I'm seeing is saying Good Films is doing this, which Good Films, they co-produce the past 3 or 4 Fast and Furious movies, which I only know because I just rewatched all of them.
just to say you happen to know that knowledge off the top of your little head.
Just rewatched every Fast and Furious movie worth watching. So I watched all of them except for 2 Fast and Furious and Tokyo Drift.
Good man.
So yeah, I mean that's what.
So
I'm
they're
seeing.
good. They're good at some action sequences and stuff. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean that's what you need in a drug movie, right?
Right.
You need some edginess. You need some darkness. Dude, I really
Dark
don't
and
wanna
gritty,
talk
dark and
about
gritty?
the next movie.
You guys aren't Ghostbusters fans. I get it.
Can we?
I want to be though
I'm not,
so badly.
I'm not going to see it in the theater because I feel like it's going to be inappropriate for the kids. And
Oh yeah.
Listen, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but I am afraid of how bad this movie's going to be.
listen, for me, it's the combination of Melissa McCarthy and is it Melissa McCarthy? Did I get that right?
It is.
Yeah, it's Melissa McCarthy.
And the Saturday Night Live, the tall chick. What's her name?
Kate McKinnon or Kate McKinnon, the blonde.
No.
Kristen Wiig, then.
Nope. Also,
Kristen Wiig. Yeah, she's from Bridesmaids.
no, she was terrible. She's terrible in everything, and that's I don't like anything she's
good in the
in.
Martian.
The only 2 people who are currently on Saturday Night Live in this movie are Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones, that's the one. Leslie Jones
she's
is
annoying.
hilarious. Hilarious.
I don't watch Saturday Night Live. She seems
I
nothing. but annoying
don't
in
watch
this
it
movie.
either. You know what I do though is I watch the
YouTube like digital shorts.
yes, like when they say these funny things happened. It was an hour and a half long. This is the best minute and a half.
These are the. Yep.
That's what I watch, and she's always like the funniest part of it.
Man, listen, we've talked about this movie for a long time. We all want it to be good.
I think
it's going to be good.
we just all hope that it doesn't ruin the memory.
I'm so afraid.
I know.
I hate.
I know. I'm
Melissa
afraid it's going
McCarthy.
to.
I hate her.
How do you hate her? She's
I don't think she's
hilarious.
funny. I don't think she's funny.
That's
I just don't.
blasphemy.
She's hit and miss. She's hit and miss with me. I did not like Identity Thief
Did you
at
see
all.
Spy?
No, I didn't.
I
and
laughed my ass off.
what was the movie where she like wore a bag over her head and robbed places?
That is Tammy.
Yeah,
Tammy,
I
I watched 3.5 minutes of that and turned it off.
Yeah,
Spy.
that looks
She was
stupid.
hilarious, and Jason Statham was surprisingly funny.
I heard they're making a sequel with more Jason Statham.
And more cowbell.
But, anyway,
At least all the cowbell.
point of order. Can we save this next movie for the end of this so we can talk about?
Yes. It's July 22nd. There's some awesome stuff happening. Ice Age, Collision Course.
Really awesome.
I think anything Ice Age is pretty awesome. They're always they're always entertaining, and if only for that little goddamn squirrel.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
Scrat?
That's yeah.
He
That's all
cracks
about that
me
movie. That's
up
good.
every
I think
time.
this series should have ended 3 movies ago.
And then John Leguizamo doing his thing. That's always funny to me.
I feel like you just want to watch John Leguizamo talk to that squirrel and have those two go out and do shenanigans.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. But moving past that and revisiting the other July 22nd movie later, what is Nerve?
So Nerve is what?
I saw the trailer for this, right? Obviously. And I thought this was going to be one movie, and it turned out to be another, and I hate it.
Oh.
It looks like this cyber thriller thing. Emma Roberts.
Looks like Eagle Eye.
It looks like a mixture of
Shia
Eagle
LaBeouf.
Eye and like Enemy of the State, those type of things.
It's supposed to be like the paper towns in the beginning.
Can you let me freaking finish the description before you all
Go
say
ahead.
pass?
Pass.
She
Pass.
volunteers. Thanks, Josh. She volunteers for this online kind of game show type of thing where she's streaming dares that people are telling her to do. And it turns out there's this bigger conspiracy involved with her and Dave Franco, who, the only way they can get through it is to actually play the game. They can't stop playing the game.
Dave Franco's in this too, Josh.
Dave Franco
I
is in
do
it.
like some Dave Franco.
This starts off with a really cool premise and then quickly turns into a bad version of Eagle Eye.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. You watched the same trailer I watched.
I
You
did
know
watch
this
the
is going to
same
be
trailer.
terrible.
I'm intrigued, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to tell you it's nothing like Eagle Eye.
Yeah,
Just saying.
pass.
Moving on to July. I don't even want to
Nope.
talk about the next movie.
Yeah,
don't want either.
wait, because I have the hardest of all passes on Bad Moms. Out.
Bad Moms, July 29th.
Out.
Pass.
Out. I don't think there's anything worse than any parent blowing off steam and just acting out. And this is culturally, it just makes us look like assholes. I've watched the trailer. I've tried. It's not only is it not funny, it paints the modern mother in a bad way. And we all know my multitude of gripes with American media and how they paint parents, especially as it relates to idiot millennials who may or may not listen to this show. I don't care. You're idiots. This is ridiculous. Pass. Jason motherfucking Bourne.
Yes. Can that also be the title of the movie?
I'm really
That would be
glad that
awesome.
I don't even need to introduce each movie. You
There's
guys
no
are doing
need
it for
to say
me.
anything besides a fuck yes.
That
Where
is
are my
the
tickets?
best
How come I haven't
possible
seen it yet?
introduction you can give for Jason. Take my money, Jason Bourne. Yes, please.
Now, and I would just like Jason Bourne to now go meet Jeremy Renner and do a Bourne crossover.
it's got to happen. They've got to do
that.
it.
It would be the best thing in the world. So yes, we're all going to see that one. It's great. So we reserved one movie for the end to talk about. It's not at the end of the month, but we held it for a reason. So Brian, why don't you tell us about what's going on July 22nd?
July 22nd, the big release is Star Trek Beyond, the third installment to the new Star Trek series. Reason we saved it for last is because it stars, as well as Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and everybody you know, Anton Yelchin, who played Chekhov in the first two movies and in this movie.
Victor.
Victor, who unfortunately this past Sunday,
Yeah, this on Father's Day.
died due to, from what I can understand now, a faulty gear shift in his Jeep and caused it to back over him in his driveway.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible freak accident. He was 27. I first saw him in the movie Charlie Bartlett with Robert Downey Jr. It's a great flick. Go check it out.
That was a
Totally
great
worth
flick.
It was
Totally
a
worth your
great
time.
flick. I think one of my first exposures to him actually was Star Trek. But you know what? At Fright Night, he was really good in Fright Night.
It was great in Fright Night.
He had an amazing amount of talent and potential and a lot of great things ahead of him. And this is really terrible news. I mean, 27, he's so young, a freak, terrible accident. I mean, really a great performer, and anyone who's worked with him, they've been saying over the past couple of weeks, just, how kind, how gentle he was, and how much talent he had. It's a big loss, I think, to the nerdy world too, because, he really was helping, I think, with the humor and some of the things of Star Trek that a lot of people are gravitating to. I mean, he's going to be sorely missed out of this franchise and for all the roles that he could have done but never did.
So you guys were talking about first exposure, and the weird thing is that it doesn't happen this way often, but Anton Yelchin sort of did the crime show circuit, like a lot of TV actors
like
do.
Law and Order and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
Right.
did like NYPD Blue, and he was on Huff and Criminal Intent, Criminal Minds. Obviously, then Charlie Bartlett was sort of his big breakout. I remember that really where I remember was Terminator Salvation. He was Kyle Reese.
He was Kyle Reese. He was great as Kyle Reese.
Right, he was great as Kyle Reese, and that's really what I remember the most. Yeah, he was Chekhov, and that was Star Trek, and
I'm just searching through his bio now. He was an Alpha Dog too.
yes, he was an Alpha Dog as well.
Solid film.
It was. For me, it's Terminator Salvation, it's Fright Night, and then obviously in a tertiary role for me, the Chekhov role from Star Trek. But this guy was incredibly talented. Obviously, gone too soon. We wanted to at least pay a little tribute where we could, because this movie is gonna debut posthumously, obviously. So there's it's a big deal, I think.
From what
And
I can tell,
there's another 2 movies starring slated starring him that are coming out in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, so I mean, there's still more work for him. We haven't literally seen the last of it. I don't know how much of it is finished. You know, I don't know if it's like a Heath Ledger, Dr. Parnassus thing. But a talent gone way too soon. Again, we didn't get to talk about it last week due to the whole just scheduling of things. But I did want to bring it up. I also, I had very mixed feelings about going to see Star Trek. But now I really want to. I want to see this artist perform.
You had mixed feelings about
This
going to see
movie-
Star Trek?
Okay, let's just talk
I
about
did.
this movie in general now. Now, just not Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
I will give you this. That first trailer did not do Star Trek justice. It just looked like Fast and Furious in space. That second trailer though is solid.
It helped.
That
Yes,
movie
absolutely.
looks very good. The only thing I'm like, you get this huge actor like Idris Elba to be your main villain, and then you cover him up with like blue and white makeup. Like I don't understand that.
You hide him.
It's the classic and constant problem of you guys wanting things to be a certain way and just not allowing yourself to be taken in a new direction. Just
That's not true.
No.
just
Not
go
true at
with
all.
it. For God's sake, just go with it.
I'm going with it. I'm gonna go see this.
We were going to see it after the second trailer. If
No,
you
I was
telling-
going to go see it regardless.
Oh, I mean, I
Don't
was
speak for
I
me,
was going to
CJ.
see
You
it.
do not
Okay,
speak for
fine.
me.
I was going to see it regardless. I just
I'm
coming in with a
looking at-
different bar set.
I'm looking at July, and I'm thinking, probably July 1st, July 8th. No big deal. And then when we get into July 22nd, all of a sudden the Fantasy Movie League becomes. There's no way Star Trek Beyond doesn't come out at 750 or greater.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jason Bourne. This is going to be like an $850 movie. This July is going to be challenging to say the least.
Yes.
I think for Fantasy Movie League. So. And by the way, to transition, can I transition from this into another, or
Yeah, go ahead.
what did you guys? Can we take a minute? What did you guys do with your Fantasy Movie?
We talked about this on the Facebook Live.
We both, and without discussion, we both stacked up on The Shallows pretty hard.
Stacked
Really
up on The
hard.
Shallows. Okay, so
Yeah.
nobody did Independence Day.
No.
Okay, so I've got Independence Day. I've got Free State of Jones. I've got The Shallows. I've got 2 screens of Alice. I've got X-Men, Civil War, and a blank screen.
I don't.
So
I don't know why you did Free State
I'm
of
taking a
Jones.
different approach. The way I'm looking at it is I did this last week and I made up $4 million. If I can find the right week to do it, I can make up quite a bit, because at some point there's going to be a drop off from the last week and the 2 weeks previous movies. And the debut movie that cost me a lot is Finding Dory paid off at $135 million.
Yeah, but the money I made off Central Intelligence.
The money,
was-
you had 3 screens of Central Intelligence?
I think it had. Yeah, it did.
You had 3 screens. You made $30 million less than I did on those 3 screens. So you made 105.
Right.
35, 35, 35.
Yep.
I made 135 on that one screen. So eventually I will find the right combo, and I'm testing that out right now.
Okay. I was. Just
I don't know
saying
why
to
you
him, I
played
didn't
Free
know-
State of Jones. The money for that is just too low.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
if people, again, we've talked about this a couple times on the pre-show, we go into it a little more. There's an app and a website called Fantasy Movie League where we have started our own thing. I definitely recommend you check it out because we're going to open up to the fans. But like right now, the race is tight between between Josh
Brian's team's superior blockbuster knowledge is really settling very nicely into third place there.
It's going to solidify. There is a $7 million difference.
I'm ahead by 25.
No, you're ahead by $5 million.
No, I'm ahead of him by 25.
Oh, hold on, wait, I'm sorry.
And you're ahead of him by 62.
Right, okay.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, wait, I have 440 and you have 403.
I'm ahead of Brian by 25.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was reading the numbers while you were talking.
And I know that because math.
Right, yes, that helps.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be, listen.
Hey, I'm still going to be interesting.
So you still went, the two of you, like, went Central Intelligence and then a whole bunch of the Shallows.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Shallows is going to rake in a lot of money.
I think you're right. I just don't think it'll do more than Independence Day. I think your 6 screens of the Shallows will be worth my 1 screen of Independence Day.
No, I think that, and I think, this is the thing, I think the Shallows is going to get Best Performer, and you're going to get the Best Performer bonus off of it, too.
Oh, dollar to dollar. Like pound for pound type of deal.
Right. You're right. It will box office more money, but the Shallow's going to get Best Performer.
I will commend you, sir, on reading and exploiting the rules better than I have.
So listen, anyway, there's a lot of really great movies coming out for July. A couple duds, but listen, we want to hear your opinion about what you think of them. So go to thatkindofnerd.com. You will see the July blockbuster right there on the homepage. Tell us what you think about these movies. If someone wants to go ahead and defend Ghostbusters, I welcome this opportunity for you to try to defend this movie as well, and some other things.
In loosely translated in CJ talk, I welcome this opportunity for me to shit on your opinion with my opinion.
I've gotten better. Actually, you know what? That actually leads to something.
Oh, that was CJ speaking, not me speaking, by the way.
I wanted to do something I wanted to do this at the top of the show, and I got distracted and I did it. I would like to formally apologize to you, Joshua Burns. You were 100% correct. As you already knew, on Apple Maps for iOS 9, and I owe you a sincere apology, sir.
I haven't listened to that episode yet because I didn't know how you'd edited it, and I was really, like, I was scared that it was going to make me more angry if I listened to it.
For the listeners, most of a very heated argument was cut out.
I was super pissed because CJ was telling me, a guy who during some weeks drives 1,000 miles solely using Apple Maps.
I was utterly wrong, and I admit I owe you an apology. I would just like that to go on the record that I have owned to this. I was completely wrong.
You hear that, Brian?
I do, and it's recorded for posterity.
33:58 timestamped.
All right, so let's move on to some other things. There was a hold on, damn it, what was I gonna do?
I don't know. What were you gonna do?
I kind of feel like he was gonna get the show on the road, Brian.
I feel like he was. I feel like the show was maybe on like a dirt path, and now it's officially on a road.
On the road.
It is on the road.
The show was not before, but now he's taking it mobile.
It is continued mobile.
Zack Snyder, this is the best headline I've ever read. Zack Snyder admits that Batman v Superman fan response changed his plans for the Justice League.
Yes, I did find this article. You're welcome. Gee, the comic book article. Brian found it.
Brian posted this, and here's the quote from Zack Snyder, and I love this. He goes, when Batman vs. Superman came out, I was like, whoa, okay, oof. It did catch me off guard. I had to, in my mind, make an adjustment, and I do think that there is a tone issue of the Justice League that has to change because of what fans have said. So, I mean, Zack Snyder realizing, the fan backlash was a little harder than I thought it was going to be, and we need to make some changes, which is good.
If you move one paragraph down, it says, of course, Snyder still defends his darker vision, and says you really had to dig down on the darker parts of them to make them fight each other. I really do believe that with this movie, with Justice League, they've been freed of the responsibility to be in a place where they would fight each other. Look, I think, as I've said a million times before, there's nothing wrong with pivoting like the guys in Silicon Valley had done, with pivoting, with changing direction, with taking feedback and changing things, reshoots, rewrites. None of that's bad if it improves the tone overall. Again, still haven't seen Batman versus Superman. I may never, but this all sounds fine if it puts a better product out there for Justice League. That is assuming that CJ doesn't shit on that so hard that I also don't see that.
I'm sorry.
No, this
You're not sorry.
Yeah,
this,
I'm
no,
not.
you're not
this
sorry.
news.
No, I was right.
This news is actually. Yeah, sure. CJ was right.
There's an episode that says CJ was right. I didn't make that episode title. That was Brian.
Oh yeah, I did make that episode.
Yeah, that was you, buddy.
That was
Go
a
ahead.
horrible idea. This is very good news for me. The fact that
Just for you.
Just for you.
No,
And by the way,
just
this
for
article
me.
is on BrianJustForBrian.com.
this is me all the way. No, listen, I'm extremely happy that they very easily could have said, well, they just don't understand. We're going to continue with the story that we and the tone that we're going to set. I do like the fact that they have listened to their fan base and are changing the tone and maybe, making it a little bit more like the DC universe that fans want to see. He even went so far as to invite the press because they're shooting it right now, to the set and be like, hey, look at this. We changed. Everything's going to be great. Yay. Look at us. We're wonderful.
That was something I saw. It was that they let a lot of reporters onto the set for this.
Reporters. And they're just, I feel like they're just begging, please like us again.
I'm so sorry. Please log us.
Will you go to prom with us? Like it's, and they have to do what they have to do because they have to do some damage control now. Because again, that movie was by no means a failure. That I have definitely seen worse movies. It performed at the box office. It made a ton of money, but it was not what fans wanted to see. And it's great that they're listening to that. So I'm excited. We'll see. I'm still not a fan of Ezra Miller as Flash, but who knows? Yeah, I might turn around.
Well, I think,
Hold on a minute. How can you not be? You saw him for 8 seconds.
Right.
I've seen other things with Ezra Miller in it, and I don't like him as the
no,
Flash.
so-
yeah, and this is, again, CJ, you're actually fighting my own battle for me. This is the lens of the true believer. You need
Yeah, I agree.
need to suspend your horse shit for a little bit and just let it play out and see where it takes you. You may love it, you may not, but at that, in the moment is when you'll decide.
Listen, and I'm going in with an open mind and an open heart. I'm ready for Ezra to wow me.
I actually think that this take on filmmaking, specifically in this genre, is not only admirable, but probably something that everyone can take a lesson from. Had at any point anyone involved in, maybe had Bryan Singer at one point taken any of the backlash and made a few changes, maybe things would have been a little bit different for some of the X-Men flicks, right?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
But this is admirable, right? For Zack Snyder.
This is a good thing. Listen, this also is Zack Snyder putting aside his ego to say, I have to make changes, which is a good thing for an artist to do.
Zack Snyder could have been very CJ about this and said, sorry, not sorry.
Absolutely. But at least Zack Snyder is giving The Flash a chance. So am I.
Listen, I'm giving it a chance. I am completely ready. I am just still a little hesitant, but I got to see a trailer. I got to see more of him. We'll see.
the change, with the change in tone or whatever, where do you think he'll stand on the breaking of any bats?
Oh, yes, Joshua.
God.
I hope to see many bats broken throughout the Justice League.
You had to bring him in. Bane's not going to be in this universe.
CJ, you are such a fool.
I think his
If you
absence
thought
from the
we would
movie.
talk about Justice League and I would not show up. You are a fool, sir. You were indeed born in the light. I was born in the darkness, CJ.
No, you were born in Pennsylvania, if I remember
I
correctly.
was, in fact, not born in Pennsylvania. Really. I was born quite not in PA.
He
but
merely adopted Pennsylvania.
I-
No,
adopted
don't feed
Pennsylvania.
him.
but I was also born in darkness.
Thanks, Bane. Really appreciate you
I
stopping
am
by,
very
buddy.
happy to see Zack Snyder going mobile with his vision of Justice League.
How
and
is he going
changing his
mobile?
tone.
How did he go mobile?
He's pivoting and changing his tone. It's very mobile-like.
No, Bane.
CJ, I feel like we are off the road again.
No.
We must get this show
Don't.
back on the road, going mobile towards a bat
Show
being
must go
broken.
mobile, CJ.
I would like to go mobile as soon as possible, CJ.
Anyway.
It's just the best part of my whole week is really that those few moments. If I get unfortunately, I'm Homer Simpson with a puffy dog with the here puff puff. I need Bane. I have to have it.
So I want to move off of the silver screen and go down to the little screen and talk a little bit about some streaming stuff as well as some other things going down the pipe. So first thing is, here are a couple things that are coming to Netflix in the month of July of 2016. The first real big things that I saw were all three Back to the Futures are coming over, so Marty McFly can now be on your screen streaming wise, or on your mobile, as Bane would say. So that way they can finally stream it. Huzzah, hugbees, and hooray.
That's awesome. But the cover picture for this article was very clearly Mean Girls, and
Yes, it was.
if you're not excited about Mean Girls coming to Netflix, there's something wrong with your MK Ultra soul.
No, I am. I was just going with the date that they were coming on, because Mean Girls comes in later.
Okay, I'll wait then. So you cleared the three Back to the Future movies.
Yes, the three Back to the Future movies. They're coming back. Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2, which we're not even you missed the best. And if you're going in order, fine. But Jesus, man, this is
do what you want. Go ahead.
I'm
Go,
gonna
tell us.
because Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Beverly Hills Cop and Beverly Hills Cop 2 coming to Netflix. I'm a child of the 80s, and as I've stated several times on this podcast, my parents did not censor me nearly as much as they should. So when I say Beverly Hills Cop, I saw Beverly Hills Cop when I was 5. I saw Eddie Murphy.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy.
I was about the same age.
In
86.
all his crazy cursiness when I was 5. Fell in love with it. Fell in love with the theme song, the Axel F theme song. Yes. That's just the greatest thing ever. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Also fantastic. 87. Saw that when I was like 8. You got Beavis and Butthead Do America, which is dumb shit.
But for Papa Thornton, Batman the movie, the 1966 Batman the movie with Adam West, coming to Netflix.
Papa Thornton owns it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Papa Thornton can now share it with people who don't have access to his DVD collection.
I feel like if I had Christian sit down and watch that movie, he'd do like the Stewie slow head turn like this thing. And just wonder what the hell
you're doing.
What the hell are you talking about, Daddy?
You have to explain to him that bat shark repellent is fantastic.
I'm just not, I'm not a fan of the Adam West show, so it's not something I harken back to.
It's not for everybody. Big Trouble in Little China.
Wait, you skip right over Blade 2.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Big Trouble in Little China, another staple of my childhood. Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall.
That's a solid film.
Amazing movie. Fantastic movie. And that dude who played the bad guy hasn't aged a day since 86 somehow.
Science?
Somehow. You've got Cinderella Man, which a lot of boxing fans will tell you is a solid flick. For some reason, Catwoman is going to be on there. We can
skip over that and Death Race 2.
And all the Death Race movies. Cheaper by the Dozen was terrible.
I liked Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
I can't. Anything.
It's too soon for some people, and it's okay.
And for me, I think it may always be too soon.
Which is fine.
Yeah. We're 15 years later. It's too soon still. Dreamcatcher.
Yes, I've never heard of this movie.
What?
You've never heard of Dreamcatcher?
Jason Lee. It has what's his name from the Showtime show? What's got Brian Help? Damian Lewis.
Timothy Olyphant's in it too? Wow.
Yeah, dude, this is a great movie.
Donnie Wahlberg. I need to watch this movie.
You've never seen this movie?
I've never seen this movie.
MK Ultra.
I've never even heard of it until this very moment.
MK Ultra status. Moving on.
Oh yeah, Tom Jane's in it too. I forgot
Thomas
that
Jane,
movie.
absolutely. Gladiator, can't beat it. Russell Crowe, amazing. Skipping past Honey. You got Hey Arnold and Hello Dolly.
You skipped Honey,
We skipped Honey.
I sure
but
did.
Honey.
I also
Nope.
skipped Insomnia and the La La.
But we're not reading this entire list of people, are we?
Ponies.
Like, this is we're reading the phone
We're
book.
not.
That's what we're doing right now.
No, Lethal Weapons.
The Lethal Weapon
1,
series.
2, 3, and 4. All the Lethal Weapon movies. I see a marathon in my future.
Absolutely. A definite big streaming marathon for Lethal Weapon.
Phenomenon. Anybody with the John Travolta?
I love Phenomenon.
Phenomenon's a solid flick.
I always cry at that movie. I really do.
I skipped past a bunch and got to Turner and Hooch, which
You skipped The Longest Yard. You shouldn't have skipped The Longest Yard.
with Adam Sandler. Really, that
The
one?
Longest Yard.
Okay.
Here's a relatively big one, which I didn't expect to see on Netflix this soon. The Big Short
Yeah,
will
Academy
be on
Award.
Netflix
Yeah.
July 6th.
Nom.
I don't know if that bodes well for, like, is that a good thing that we're getting it that quickly?
No,
Or is
maybe
that, like,
not
a
for the
bad thing?
success of the movie in sales, but I haven't seen it yet, and I'll wait till it hits Netflix.
I really wanted to watch it, and I never did. Very bummed.
That's a big deal. Oh, holy shit. Fighting.
Yeah,
Fighting's
fighting
on
with
Netflix.
Channing Tatum.
I own Fighting on iTunes. I've owned it forever. It's one of those movies, as far as I'm concerned, that is totally underrated. It was a great flick. Everyone should watch it. I mean, we covered a bunch of stuff. I think that the fact that we're going to see all 3 Back to the Future movies, a couple of the Beverly Hills Cop, all 4 Lethal Weapon movies, as well as a few other cool things through there. It's a big month for Netflix, I think. Pretty big month.
Yeah, with the fact that there's no like super awesome original series, popping through right now, it's a good time to go ahead and watching some movies for it.
Yeah, but they're also losing some stuff too.
So what are they losing, Brian? What is their biggest loss?
No, I mean there's a couple things that I'm looking at this list right now. They're losing. I think this is the second Ice Age, the Meltdown. They're losing that. They're losing 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange. They're losing A League of Their Own. So if you want to make sure,
That's actually a shame.
That is a shame. If you want to make sure there's no crying in baseball, you should watch that before it leaves.
What a great movie.
By the way, as a side note, while you're looking at that, there is a report that came out. It's very rumory from BGR that says that this year Netflix is going to start letting you download your favorite movies and TV shows, so you don't have to stream them. So if you don't have an internet connection, the things that while they're available, you can download them from a short period of time onto your local device.
They're losing the 7 original Star Trek movies. That's a shame. Just in time for the new Star Trek movie to come out.
The only things other than what we've discussed that I see premiering in July, not on Netflix, but anywhere. The Night of, which is an HBO limited series premiere. That's gaining some fanfare.
I have no idea what that's about, and I've seen a bunch of freaking trailers.
But we've seen the trailers. We know that it's an HBO thing, and I won't watch it, but people will.
Speaking of HBO, I don't know when this premieres. I doubt it's July. I saw that trailer for Westworld. That looks solid. Do you know when that premieres?
Is that the one where Kevin Costner drinks his own pee?
No, that's Waterworld.
Okay,
I'm
just checking.
Close.
Oh shit!
Westworld is Westworld was based on a Michael Crichton novel.
Look, so there are. I want to get through a few of the, so July. You said not a ton of stuff, and there's a bunch of stuff not on Netflix that we are going to see. I said the night of Suits season 6, July 13th. Is the
Mr. Robot? It should be soon.
Mr. Robot is July 13th. So we have that as well. We have the Ballers premiere July 17th. Vice Principals July 17th. Power Season 3 July 17th. Those are all pretty big shows. We have the premiere of the show Shooter, which is based on the movie, July 19th. And then beyond that, there's not a ton ton where we're pretty much at the end of the month, but there's a bunch of stuff happening in July that is outside of Netflix. And for me, Suits, Mr. Robot, big premieres. Suits. I've been waiting for Suits forever.
I'm a little bit behind, so I'm hoping I can binge watch and catch up.
That's a show
with
I
that.
actually would like to watch and never have.
You need to, because it heats the hell up at the end of season 5.
So the other thing that came up in streaming business while we're talking about this, and I'm actually writing the article and adjusting the current one, were a couple of things for cord cutters. Two big announcements that really came out over the last couple of weeks. One of them we talked about in one episode, so we're going to touch upon it again. Sling TV is officially on the Apple TV. So if you are a cord cutter and you have Sling TV, it's a good time to get an Apple television. However, I will say PlayStation Vue is now available on Roku. And the more that I researched this when we did cord cutting, I liked PlayStation Vue.
That's a big deal, yeah. PlayStation Vue is a really cool a la carte service.
It's really good, but however, it was only available if you had a PlayStation, and doing the math, buying a PlayStation was way too much money.
Well, if you were listening to anything that Brian had to say, or really you chimed in about with E3, then we should all own PlayStations.
Well, again, the guide for cord cutting, the guide for the cord cutting process was you have no equipment.
It's not gonna happen. I have a PlayStation 3. I'm still not gonna sign up.
No, you for PlayStation Vue?
Yeah.
Oh, you totally should.
Nope.
No, hold on, listen. My major problem for watching live sports, right, as a cord cutter, was buying an antenna and an HD home run and then an app channels to hook up to an Apple television. Apple TV. I don't know why I keep calling it that. Anyway.
I don't know why you keep calling it that.
I don't know why I do that. Anyway, it's about $115 for the HD home run, about another $60 to $50 for your antenna, and then $15 for the channels app to watch live sports. Part of PlayStation Vue is all the major networks: ABC, CBS, NBC, CW, and all the ESPNs.
Right, but all the local shit's blacked out.
No, it's not. They actually have a section here about watching live sports on PlayStation Vue, and it's not.
Local sports are blacked out on those. They got to be blacked out on those channels.
They like specifically said, "Can I watch sports in my area? Live sports in my area?"
No
yes,
shit.
you can. Seriously, it's on their FAQ on PlayStation Vue.
Oh, well, then I'm in. That sounds good.
It's huge. I'm gonna start a free trial of it.
I mean, I don't want to mince words. I'm still gonna pay $300 for NFL Sunday Ticket because I need every game. I don't give a shit about the Philadelphia Eagles. They're awful. I need every game.
Right. That it doesn't do. So you're right if that's what you're aiming your goal is.
No, you can through PlayStation. You can subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there's that advantage as well. I just wonder if
now I need to put that in.
And maybe, and CJ, maybe this is something that we can follow up on in the coming episodes. Can you find out if PlayStation Vue has NFL Sunday Ticket, or if it's a specific app on the PlayStation? Like if it has Vue, if it's available on Vue, then that means you can have a Roku and subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, I will honestly tell you, I'm going to adjust the cord cutting article to include Sling TV. And I'm going to adjust a second article for people who are very anti-Apple on getting a Roku and using PlayStation Vue, because I ran the numbers and it's really only about $10 more a month, and you get all the channels that you had with Sling TV.
Do you have a list of the people who are very anti-Apple?
No, I will not give you a list of anyone. That's
I'm thinking if you have a list, I could contact them one by one and change their minds.
No, because you have to start with Craig Phillips and then you can work.
No. He's way too far gone. He took the red pill and he wanted to stay in the Matrix and not see how far the rabbit hole goes. Like he chose to be a robot rather than really experiencing everything the Apple ecosystem can do for him.
All right, so there's going to be some updates to the cord cutting guide, so that way you can understand a little more about PlayStation Vue. I'm going to get a free trial and see for it myself to see if it's actually performing the way that Sling TV has for me, which I am loving, by the way. So before we move on to our Game of Thrones section, I actually want to talk a little bit about some Game of Thrones funniness that's coming out there, because as you know, the season finale would have aired by the time that you are listening to this episode. But for the next couple seasons, the next couple of years, I want to tell you about a really hilarious website. It's called spoiled.io. And for 99 cents, you will be able to send your hated friends Game of Thrones spoilers as the show is on the air. It's pretty freaking awesome.
So I threatened this to little brother who called me and said, "Hey man, can you authenticate my HBO Go subscription?" And I said, "No, because I don't have HBO. I have HBO Now. It's a different thing. I'm just trying to watch Game of Thrones." And I'm like, "You haven't seen it yet? This is yesterday. This is Thursday."
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, "You haven't seen it yet?" Because there's this whole site where I can just send you spoilers. Don't do it. I can't unsee it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. You're normally such an asshole. Please don't be an asshole. And I said, "I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. I haven't decided. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I can't unsee it." And then it just brought me back to my nightmare where this is the worst possible thing. I don't check social media, nothing. My phone, nothing. So when HBO Now wasn't cooperating for me on Sunday, CJ, I actually put my phone in airplane mode.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I also got the website, how it functions wrong, so I apologize. This is after the Game of Thrones episode airs, it will shoot out spoilers.
Of course after. It can't do it before.
I thought it would be doing it during. My apologies. I misspoke.
Okay, fair enough. Either way, my nightmare
coming true through this website.
Through this site. This is worse than the people that will send you a glitter bomb.
This is funny because you fill out the form on the front. It asks for your name, your email address. They call it your victim's phone number, your payment information, and then the submit button is give a man a phone number.
A man has a phone number.
It's so great.
So it's not you. I know you wanted to wrap on this one thing, but there are actually two things.
There are two other things.
I have one small thing, and then we can move on to the huge thing. The one small thing is, while I do a bit of jabbing at my friend Craig Phillips, I want to congratulate him on a momentous occasion. Craig just hit 2,000 unique beers on the Untapped app.
Damn.
This dude has tasted 2,000 beers and checked in using Untapped. That is some serious beer drinking, and I commend you, good sir. That's that's unbelievable. I don't know anybody else at 2,000. That's fantastic. So when people say to me, "Do you use Untapped?" I'm like, "I certainly do. Here's my friend Craig, who drinks way too much beer." And I show them that Craig has all of this beer. And everybody goes, "Holy hell, I got to get there." I'm like, "Well, he's giving you a goal to chase." Good job, Craig. 2,000 beers. That's fantastic. But the way he does it, CJ...
in moderation, I hope.
I think, and he does, but I think we can all... So this dude is a beer adventurer. He goes all over the place. I mean, everywhere he goes, he finds a local brewery. He sits and he tastes their beers. They peddle their wares. He consumes. It's fantastic. Congratulations. 2,000 beers is a lot of beers.
Yes, it is.
Sure enough. Can we get to the actual big reveal?
What big reveal?
The big reveal. The most revolutionary...
Oh, God.
The most amazing technology invented, maybe ever.
Yeah, for CJ, who wants to talk about cool technology all the time, and then brings up stupid shit like
this
Project
is like,
Picard.
there's a fridge that can tell you when you're short on milk. No,
Oh my God! There's a jacket that will freaking let you control
This is
music.
the dumbest thing I've ever
you
heard.
can wear
most amazing
clothes
thing
that
ever.
dry themselves and also electrocute you.
No, that's Back to the Future,
No,
sir.
this is a
Whatever,
piece of
dude.
tech that I am excited
This
about.
is
This is so
amazing,
dumb.
and it is called the Foldy Mate. The Foldy Mate is a technology priced, from what I can tell, at $750 to $800.
That's crazy.
No,
talk.
it's not crazy because washers and dryers are more than that.
Yeah.
That's because they do washing and drying.
You know what you have to
Folds your
do?
clothes.
After you wash and dry your clothes, you got to fold them shits. The Foldy Mate, basically, you clip your shirts and pants or whatever into the thing, and it has internal sensors. It brings your clothes into this machine, which is the depth of like a washer dryer. So same depth. It stands next to your washer dryer, and it brings the clothes in, and it has all these arms and sensors. It sees how wide and long, and it folds your clothes, and it spits them out folded.
And
Here's
it does like 7 at a time and takes like 4.5 minutes to do 7 shirts.
4.5 minutes. You know how long it takes me to do a shirt? 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
You just learn how to fold clothes quicker.
No, dude. The problem is, all right. So again, we're gonna go. Josh, I travel for a living. I have to take these clothes that are dry cleaned, and then I have to fold them neatly and in a way that they won't crease, and I don't have to iron them. When I get to my hotel room, I want to take my clothes out of the bag, hang them up, and be able to wear them the next day. No ironing. This machine solves my problems.
And as Brian, who is extremely lazy and does not like folding laundry, this is amazing.
CJ, I'm folding the clothes the same way this machine does, but I'm doing it at a much... So, I don't know if you watched the video, but the video folds dress shirts exactly like they should be. It folds the shirt over to the collar and then sort of layers the sleeve back and forth like it should. That's how I fold clothes. I fold them the right way, and I can do it. Fine. But it takes me probably a solid, 2 to 3 minutes per shirt.
My God.
This
really?
thing,
This is
CJ,
like having your own personal Gap employee. It's
CJ,
amazing.
You have to lay it down on a flat surface. You have to lay the shirt down on its front on a flat surface. Fold the shirt vertically to the collar and then smooth it out. Then back and forth with the arm, then the other side, all the while smoothing it out. And then you have to make sure that you fold it up properly, not to crease anything, because I do not ever want to iron a shirt in a hotel.
I used to work at a retail store where I had to fold shirts and stuff like this.
All you former foldy retail people say that shit. I've seen you guys fold shirts in the most haphazard ass way. Like,
You've never seen me fold
to the
a shirt.
point where when I buy a shirt at retail, I pretty much have to send it directly to the goddamn dry cleaner.
You've never seen me fold a shirt. You just gonna lump us all together.
I'm
into
assuming
one
you don't do as good a job as the foldy mate.
This is ridiculous.
It's amazing.
I'm so
Shut up and
Brian,
take my
don't
money.
you have someone in your palatial estate to do this for you?
Francois needs days off, okay? Plus, it's extremely hard to find a nice flat surface not covered in cat hair. So
There are not that many
I'm on
cats. The
board.
cat to male ratio is super low. But the problem is that where the clothing folding is done is also where the kitty litter is. So it's just a one room. It's like a laundry room. And I want to, like, when I say laundry room, it is a 400 square foot laundry room. But it's a laundry room nonetheless. And that is where the cat hair is.
It's just filled with one very small washer and dryer.
And
soon to be a foldy mate.
soon to be a foldy mate.
And so this, I can't believe that this is, out of all, this is something that I would have found to be like, listen, this is cool, but it's really stupid.
I can't believe
and you
that
guys
you
would yell
can't
at me.
believe this is an amazing idea.
This is normally
idea
something
ever.
that I would present and you would yell at me. And I
No.
can't believe you guys
No.
brought this up to me. It's
No,
ridiculous.
You bring
Let
up
me be-
stupid crap like pants glowing.
Let me just illustrate this a little further.
I've never
so that
shown you glowing
understand
pants.
my level of psychosis about my travel.
No, I get it. You've eloquently
No.
explained.
I have an overnight bag. It's good for 1 to 2 nights. I have a bag that's good for 2 to 3 nights, and a couple rolly bags that are good for longer trips. I bought just recently a bag from Red Ox, which is a phenomenal company. I spent ridiculous money on this bag. And I bought it because I can pack essentially 2 weeks worth of stuff in a carry-on size bag that is comfortable to hold. I am crazy about
Yes, you are.
having, and you guys had to actually, to all the listeners, Brian and CJ had to suffer through me describing the bags I was researching as I was researching them.
That's so
because
true.
I spent in the last, before I bought this bag, I had spent over the course of 3 nights approximately 8 hours researching bags. That's how batshit crazy I am about my travel. I want to be able to pack my shit, CJ, in less than 15 minutes and get on the road. The Foldy Mate,
It's going to take you 7 of those 15 minutes.
the Foldy Mate,
And Josh, you've got to
makes
get on the
this-
road quick because the show is already on the road.
It's the show
yeah,
has
God.
been on the road,
Damn.
and if I don't get on there quickly, I'm going to miss the show, which is on the road.
Exactly.
I need speed to market, CJ. I got to get there fast. The Foldy Mate allows me never to fold shit. I can hang it there, hit a button, it'll do the job, and I pack the stuff when I'm ready. It's good to go. The Foldy Mate is an outstanding technology.
the way you're talking about it is like they're sponsoring us. They're giving us no money.
They're not giving us any money. And if I could if I could go ahead and dig up Billy Mays, he'd be all over the Foldy Mate.
I would actually probably be more interested.
I'm not,
if this
and
was
I am
sold by
no.
Billy
I am.
Mays.
I mean, I can sell some stuff, but I am no Billy Mays. I can't do it for you. Watch the Foldy Mate video, which hopefully CJ
I'll put
will
it into
put
the
in the show notes.
Absolutely, I will put this into the show
And
notes.
if you folks are on Facebook, this has been I've seen it on Facebook a few times in the past couple days. Foldy Mate. Hashtag take back your time, people.
Here's the deal. Here's the thing with this, and I'm so sorry to do this to you guys because you're gonna have your hearts broken.
Don't you freaking dare.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
The pre-orders for this are starting in 2017.
Yeah, fine. I don't care.
Wait. That's just the pre-order.
Sure.
Then it's going to ship probably a year and a half, almost 2 years later.
Fine.
You're gonna own a Tesla before this thing is in your house.
I'm not going to own a Tesla.
This thing has 117,604 people registered for the
a really
pre-order.
big number. We get it.
You're
Wow,
never
how
gonna
many?
get
How
this.
many?
Damn it, I just lost the number.
Over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
100,000.
It's over 9,000, Josh.
100,001. Include me.
And okay, but that's just people that registered for getting notified about a pre-order.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that those people are going to buy it.
I'm in. Oh, that
You're
means
never
I
gonna
moved
get
up the
this
list? I moved up the list just now. Just by you saying that, I moved up the list.
There you go.
Okay,
I'm getting my folding show on the road.
Well, listen, let's get the other part of this show on the road. I want to thank you guys for listening to us and making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work. Please tell us what you think about these topics. I can't believe we spent this much time on this Foldy Mate thing, but whatever. Okay.
You know, he says that. He said the same thing about Butterbeam, too. And that was something we were really excited about.
That
If I
thing's
could get
amazing.
It is. I can get a Butterbeam and a Foldy Mate. My life's complete.
Saving all kinds of time.
I can
No, you spilled butter on your shirt. And
I
now you
can
use your
butter my
Foldy Mate after you wash it.
popcorn with the tense amounts of butter, and then when that butter gets on my shirt, I can wash it and have it pre-folded. Yes, please.
If only there was a machine that took the wash from the washer, put it in the dryer, and then immediately into the Foldy Mate.
If we could have like a human centipede of
A
washer
human
dryer.
centipede of washer dryer process?
Yeah, not like human, but like just washer dryer Foldy Mate.
A
If I could just
washer
have one
dryer
machine,
centipede.
I put it into one hole
Where the
and it comes out folded.
You put it in the front of the washer and it spits it out the back into the dryer. The dryer spits it out the back into the Foldy Mate.
And
the
it comes out
Foldy Mate
folded.
comes out folded in not at all like an excrement kind of way.
No, but like a beautiful, fresh, crisp, folded shirt kind of way.
Folded shirt kind of way in a laundry centipede.
Be amazing. That's the best laundry centipede ever.
Oh my God, it's the worst. Like the worst like visual ever. But it makes total sense and I would invest in it. Can we do that?
Okay, I would love to.
I feel like the Saperstein twins right now. Like it's awful, but I want a piece of it. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
This show is brought to you by the Human Centipede, a Foldy Mate.
You know, if I had a Foldy Mate or a laundry centipede, I would have more time to spend on the Blockbuster. I would
Hashtag take back your time with a laundry centipede.
Hashtag there's a whole lot of laundry in here.
There's a whole lot of laundry up in here.
God damn it.
Hashtag red tube laundry.
Can I end this show? So I have to work tomorrow. And we still have to talk about Game of Thrones.
I'm always working. This is me working right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have business shirt on. I'm working.
Well, everybody, that's our show for this week. I want to thank you for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. And we want to tell you how you can help support the show. Help us out here, all right? First thing you can do is give us a 5-star review on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, wherever the hell you found us. Tell us that we deserve 5 stars and tell us what you love about this show. You can also share your voice with it, and you can call 484-373 4119 and share your thoughts with it. We're going to play one after we're done this part here. And you can also go to thatkindofnerd.com/loot, LOOT. Get money off your own loot crate and help support the show at the same time. I think this month's box is going to be awesome.
Get the DX. Get the DX this month.
Get the DX and get money off of it. And you have until the 19th of this month to do it. Give it as a gift to yourself because you're awesome and you deserve it. So thank you so much for listening. Check us out on Twitter at thatkindofnerd. And let's get ready for a lovely fan who wanted to share some thoughts about why he loves our show so much.
Before we do that, can I add one thing? I think when you say thank you for making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work, you should also add or your time folding laundry.
Because there's a lot of people that spend a lot of time folding
laundry. Exactly.
So that kind of nerd, CJ, Brian, and Josh. My name is Ben Frazier, and I'm a huge fan. I'm about a 6-month listener, and I just wanted to kind of give you a call to let you know you guys have actually changed my life. So within the last 6 months, I have gotten an iPhone 64 gig phone, which has been amazing from CJ's recommendation. I am now an Apple Music family member. I work out and listen to a combination of Star Wars, Nas, and Miles Davis, which I feel like is only possible through Apple Music.
That's eclectic.
I'm now going to the gym on the elliptical and watching Banshee because of Josh. And I just love everything, about the podcast. And just wanted to show you my support and let you guys know that you really do make a difference in people's lives. So, CJ, Brian, Josh, I appreciate all you. Know what you're doing is great, and you got a fan for life from Ben Frazier. Thanks again. Bye.
What kind words?
That
We've
was very
changed
sweet.
somebody's life.
I bet you Ben would love the Foldy Mate.
Ben would love the Foldy Mate.
And he may. And in all seriousness, the podcast for me started out as just an idea that my two buddies thought would be cool, and then it turned into this thing that was this great outlet. And then we started finding ways to make nerd culture applicable really in everybody's life. But this is like not vindication, but just validation of the stuff that we spend so much time sort of every Friday from 9:30 until sometimes the wee hours of the morning. And I know CJ is spending a lot of nights and editing this show super late. So the kind words are absolutely appreciated, Ben. We will continue to do what we do because obviously we love to do it, but the feedback that you provided is an absolute driver for us, and for me, it validates everything that I put into this, and I can't thank you enough for the kind words.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ben. That really means a lot to us. And for the fans of the show who have been listening for a while, Papa Thornton left the voicemail, but we will play it next week because I want to take some extra time to talk about it. So, Papa Thornton, we will address you next week. So, we're going to move on and we're going to go to Westeros, take the show on the road to Westeros, and we're going to talk about some Game of Thrones. So,
Can we take this show on the dragon? Take a dragon to work?
Yeah, sure.
In the air. We take the show in the air.
Let's get the show on the air.
On a dragon.
Let's do it on a dragon.
All right, everybody. Let's get over to Westeros.
On the King's Road.
Okay, well, if you've made it past our wonderful Game of Thrones cat, you have officially launched yourself into the Game of Thrones part, so spoilers be gone. So, the Battle of the Bastards. So first off, we're going to have a bigger episode on the finale. We'll deal with that.
I don't know if it'll be bigger.
We don't know what it's going to be.
Well,
we don't know what it is right now, so we don't know.
I think we can probably say it's not going to be anywhere near as amazing as this episode.
This episode was so good.
Like, and not in just the Game of Thrones episode perspective. I'm not sure this is even my favorite Game of Thrones episode of all time, but I will say this is among the best battle scenes I've ever seen anywhere. And when I was talking to little brother about it and didn't spoil it for him, I did say the battle, the only way to describe it is amazing. It was the Bastogne episode of Band of Brothers. It was 300. It was jarring being on the ground during that infantry battle.
Oh God!
With the arrows raining down and enemies coming from every direction. You didn't know who was an enemy or who was an ally until you saw them face to face, and then you had to quickly decide whether to stab them or dodge or what. I mean, it was crazy good, like blood pressure up, heart pumping. This battle was ridiculous, and I won't call it epic because it wasn't all that long.
This episode actually made me scream at my television twice.
Yep.
And I don't normally do this, and it's like 2:00 in the morning, so the cats are sleeping, and I didn't want to wake them or disturb them.
Not many cats.
But there's a scene where Ramses, you know what's going to happen, and Ramses just lets Rickon start running towards.
Oh my God!
We all
But
called that Rickon would die, and he
told
would be
you,
stupid.
I
We
told
all
you the
called
week
it.
before that he was going to be the catalyst that set John off.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm sitting there and he's running towards John, and I'm just going, Serpentine! Just Serpentine, Rickon! Like, you're just making it too easy for him to kill you.
We're all just sitting there going zigzag, zigzag, zigzag.
So I was screaming towards that. And obviously at the end, when Ramses gets his due, I was extremely excited.
I seriously, I was watching that battle, and before the fight, Jon Snow's talking to the Red Woman, and he was like, "Why did I get brought? Why was I brought back here?" And she goes, "Well, maybe he brought you back here to die here.
Don't do it again. Don't do it.
What kind of god would do that?" And I'm like, George R.R. Martin.
Don't. And he told her flat out, "Look, if I die, don't bring me back." And she's like, "Well, I kind of have to try." God damn it! Don't do it.
Also, we've discussed this. We don't think she had anything to do.
No,
with
I don't. But they're not. It's very clear that the show is not going in the direction of the warg link between all the Stark children and their wolves. So
right,
that's out. So they're going to give credit to the Lord of Light and Melisandre. That's fine. I'll deal with it. That wasn't the only thing. And I went, sort of watching the show. Hashtag Josh is super right again with the dragons
Burning the masters.
Torching.
I was in agreement with you.
Yep.
Yes. No, Craig was vehemently.
And by the way,
against
Craig is not on this episode. He's on vacation.
He's not to defend himself, and I'm not going to badmouth what he said. I am going to say he thought the Iron Fleet would be the ones that took out the master ships. The dragons did, and then Yara and Theon, I thought had it was a cool scene that did a couple things. Obviously, it really reaffirmed everything that we talked about with Tyrion being able to not only talk his way out of the issue with Daenerys, but also be her most trusted advisor. And he's very quickly proven that he is that. That's evidenced by the scene with Theon and Yara Greyjoy. And then I think, maybe if we're very lucky, we get to see a nighttime episode, a nighttime scene with Yara and Daenerys. Maybe if we're very lucky, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it goes that way with Daario Naharis returning to camp. I think that a few things that were very cool was the Dothraki led by Daario Naharis returning to camp, and then obviously right when we needed to see it, the letter from Sansa gets to Littlefinger, who throws the Knights of the Vale into the mix, and they show up exactly when they should. I know that you guys were fans of Ramsay dying in front of Sansa the way he did, she unleashing the hounds.
Oh, it was so good.
I think there was a moment that was even better than that, and that's when Jon Snow is beating Ramsay Bolton to death with his bare hands, sees Sansa and thinks, you know what?
You know, let her do it.
She'd probably do it worse than I would. And I turned to Laura and I said, yes, like he's just gonna beat him to death. And then I was a little worried that Ramsay may still have a knife and might be something sneaky there.
That's what I said too. I was like, please, just
Ramsay has always been on it, right? He's always been
Yeah.
prepared. And in this situation, I think when he felt his most powerful, most confident, most comfortable, and he was totally exposed by not only the will of the wildlings and the army that Jon put together, but also that the Knights of the Vale rescued them, and then, you know, Jon just doing what he does, chasing him down, you know, 1-1 kicking in the door to Winterfell, Jon Snow beating Ramsay to a bloody pulp, and then going, you know what, Sansa would probably do much worse. You don't deserve to die at my hands. And then that's when we return to Jon going back to the teachings of Ned Stark and the one who proposed the sentence swings the sword type deal. And this was always Sansa's game. This was never about Jon.
Mm-hmm.
Jon is still that humble leader. And that's, for me, somebody asked about, you know, don't you think that all that murder, you know what? Nobody asked. It was Laura while watching the episode. Do I think that all of the killing Jon just had to do at war was going to ruin him? And I said, no, I think that just like Ned, he's able to divorce those two things. This is what he has to do. And when he leads, that's what he is and who he wants to be.
But at the same time, though, this really didn't paint Jon in the best light for leadership. I mean,
absolutely it did. CJ, okay, did he react emotionally? Yes. And I think that's a function of... If he
didn't run into that, though, thousands of people just would have been alive.
No, hold on. That's a function of inexperience and youth, not leadership. And, you know, you can be a leader but be inexperienced or be a little immature and youthful. Yes, he reacted poorly. However, it took, you know, you had Davos Seaworth there. He held a minute and then he sent him to follow. Either way, that battle was going to happen. Whether it was Jon going into it full bore or Jon staying back, watching his brother die, and then going it. Either way, it was going to happen. So at least he was, you know, way on the front lines. And what he did was he didn't retreat. He didn't regroup. He didn't try to join. When they were coming at him with the entire infantry, he took out his sword.
Yeah. No,
he didn't retreat.
Right. And that's fine.
No, that's leadership.
Yes, but then everyone did try to bail on him. As a matter of fact, he almost got Black Friday'd. Like, he almost got trampled.
Yes, but he pushed.
By people retreating.
He clawed his way up through the
which
stampede.
Makes him a skilled fighter, not a good leader.
Everything
what does
except
climbing out of dead bodies have to do with skilled fighting?
No. Him climbing out of a mountain of people has nothing to do with his leadership.
I mean, it has to do with his will.
It has to do with his will.
His will, yes, but nothing to do with his leadership.
In this case, that fortifies his leadership, his will. And
I disagree.
It's his ability to show the restraint when emotions were the highest that sold me.
Okay.
Like, and I had the same
of not killing Bolton. I don't understand what strength you're talking about.
That restraint. Yes, exactly. That restraint. The one who proposed the sentence should swing the sword. It wasn't him.
Yes, that moment's great for him. The battle did not bode. I mean, if I was a soldier, I would have been like, oh, shit.
I mean, what did Ramsay do when his men went to battle?
I get that. He stood up there in his high castle the whole time.
No, he fired arrows at them. Those arrows hit as many of his men.
Yeah, comparing the two of them, I get it. He's the better of the two. Ramsay Bolton doesn't give a shit about his own men. We all knew that.
It's a lesson on good leadership and bad leadership. They're demonstrating his fitness to rule, in my opinion.
In my opinion, his fitness to rule in this sense was not good. After the battle,
CJ, you need to compare. Compare every quote unquote king, every leader that you've seen on Game of Thrones, not named Stark.
Right.
All of them had weak constitutions.
Yes.
Other than Daenerys Targaryen. I mean, every single leader in Westeros, including Stannis, at the end, burning his daughter, just no backbone.
Yep, right.
Renly, no backbone.
True.
Tommen Baratheon, Joffrey Baratheon, no backbone.
Give it to you, yes.
This is the showrunners demonstrating Jon's fitness to rule, his superiority over every leader we've seen. Brian, am I nuts?
No, you're not crazy. I absolutely agree with you, and CJ's wrong.
So let's talk about some of the other stuff too, because I saw a very strong, and I know I'm not the first person to point this out, but I really saw this parallel and this shot for shot similarity where Daenerys at one point is having all the freed slaves surround her and reach out to her, and they do this aerial zoom out, and you just see her blonde hair surrounded by these people. And then when Jon gets out of that pile and he finally comes up to breathe and he does this pull out again, it's the same shot. A slightly different scenario, but it's the same shot.
You've been looking at Reddit too much.
No, they're tying these Targaryens together. It's this thing where they're slowly starting to hint on these Targaryens.
I believe I've said this for quite some time that that's the direction I think it should go. I think it's the only way to give the show a happy ending. I hate even saying those words in relationship to Game of Thrones, because if we've learned anything from George Martin is that we're not going to see a happy ending. So
no way.
Me wanting, oddly enough, Jon to be discovered as a Targaryen, marry his sister basically, and they rule together riding dragons with Bran Stark, the three-eyed crow, basically remote operating a third dragon. Yes, I want to see that. But that's the happy ending. And as much as I think they may hint to it, and cinematography aside, I get it. Like, I could see how you would notice that. I did not notice that, even from a theme, an overall theme type thing. I just didn't see it that way. I didn't get it that way.
I think they were just planting the seed for those who haven't bought in. I think
that's a stretch. I think that, like, cinematographic tricks and shots and
they've been doing like the when they show the creation of the White Walkers.
Yeah, no, it was the same shot. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
they've done this before is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man.
There's precedence for it. I think that's how they're trying to show people that these two people can be connected.
I think Brian's getting pretty tired of your shit.
I think you people like you are the only person who, and people on Reddit who draw that conclusion.
You say people like you mean Italians, or what do you?
Yes, exactly.
What are you saying? Because I just
I think listen, it's an interesting cinematography, camera angle, whatever.
Yeah, I don't get off on that shit. I get a lot of
the thing is, I do, and I don't necessarily agree.
Like, I don't even go wow. I don't even go wow at like all the wide shots and the all that. I don't even go wow because I'm not watching it for that factor. Like, I'm not trying to do anything but soak in the story and just let it wash over me, CJ.
You had to at least say wow when there's that shot of him holding the sword as those horses were coming to it. That was an awesome.
That was a great shot.
I wasn't looking at the shot. I was looking at the action. Like, he was in trouble. I was in the moment with the holy shit. He's gonna stand there.
Yep, and
try to take on an army of mounted infantry. He's gonna die.
Do it.
He's gonna die. Yep. And none of the shot, none of the camera angle, not like that. I just honestly I can't recall the angle or what it looked like. I recall the action, and that's what was getting me at the moment because I was thoroughly emotional. Like, everything about it, heart racing, blood pumping, on the edge of my seat. I just don't give a shit about the camera angle at all. I know that ruins you, but I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I
just think you can appreciate that stuff all you want, but you can't start jumping to conclusions and thinking that it.
What conclusions am I jumping to?
You're jumping to the conclusion that they chose to do those two shots the same way because they're ultimately hinting at a link between the Targaryens. I don't think you can jump to that conclusion.
We already have.
No, we haven't.
I don't know, man. I think that if we had a board of conclusions for you to jump to, that one would maybe be the furthest away from you.
I think we hope that that's the route the story goes, but I don't think you can be like, oh, this is how the showrunners are going to show us. No, it's just two separate scenes shot pretty similarly. And
what was your biggest takeaway from this episode, Brian?
Ramsay got his face eaten off, and it was awesome. That was my biggest takeaway.
That was a big deal.
It was so awesome.
I love the Sansa smirk.
I love
the
Sansa
fact that
smirk.
Tiny smirk too. It was just
And I
so
love the fact that
small.
she was initially going to leave right before that happened. She was going to walk away, and then she was like, no, fuck it. I'm going to watch this. And I was like, go Sansa.
It was awesome. It was very cool. I thought the way he died, he absolutely deserved it. However, I really, at my core, wish he would have suffered quite a bit more than.
Me too.
Like, I wish someone would have hung him upside down and started flaying him. Flaying him up. Flay him up.
Yeah, but it's not the Stark way.
I know it, and I understand why, and they don't do that. It's beneath them, but man,
You just wanted that.
if
I know, you
there
wanted that
was
justice.
anyone who deserved it, and it's an awful way to die. I mean, obviously, being chewed to pieces a small bit at a time by your own dogs is tough, but you were the worst person who has ever graced a camera. Like, that's the worst character I can't think of a more despicable character.
Did you think Littlefinger was coming through when you were watching that episode? You're in the
Yes.
moment.
Yeah.
I
You
called
knew
that
he
like
was-
3 episodes ago, dude.
Yep.
I know,
As
but
soon as he
as you
said
were
it,
watching-
as soon as he said it, you knew they were going to be part of the final battle.
I just knew as soon as I saw Jon Snow being trampled and coming out of that crowd, I was like, how the fuck do you get out? Like, I forgot that Sansa sent that letter. I was like, how do you get out of this? Jon Snow's going to die. What do you do? And so when it happened, I was very pleasantly surprised. You know what? Here's another thing that happened that I don't know if we fully paid attention to. I think we may have just seen the death of all the giants. I think we are officially done with giants, right? They said there were only a few of them. We saw 3. 2 of them already died in battle. And this is what, Win-Win? What was his name?
1-1.
1-1.
We saw him take the arrow to the fucking eye.
Yeah, he's done.
He's dead, but is that the last?
I think it's probably
Giant?
the last we'll see. I mean, the rest of them were supposed to be so far north of the wall that
So we'll never see giants again. I
Did you
thought
see that? Did you see that meme that said, some hold the door closed, others break it down? And it just had a picture of Hodor and 1-1.
that's pretty cool.
That would be
Pretty
great.
awesome.
He was
appreciated
a
that.
good character. I liked him. I thought it was a cool play. I also thought it was time for.
Okay, so listen, that is the end of our conversation for Battle of the Bastards. Obviously, while can we call this episode epic? Was it long enough to get the epic title?
It was like 9 minutes long.
Okay, that was it. Okay. It was an extremely powerful episode. There's obviously a lot going on. And like we said, by the time you're listening to this, the finale has happened. So we would like to hear your thoughts on that. So next week, when we talk about the finale, we can hear from you guys. So please call 484-373-4119 and share your thoughts about Game of Thrones. You can also give us your thoughts about the season, some theories, and some things that came true that didn't come true. Email us at got@thatkindofnerd.com or I know how to tame dragons @thatkindofnerd.com. I swear that will work. I know how to tame dragons @thatkindofnerd.com. Test me if you will, and share your thoughts about Game of Thrones. So thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week. Hopefully we will have Craig Newcombe back on the show too, so he can join us and talk about Game of Thrones for the finale. So thank you, gentlemen, and we will see you guys next week.
CJ's getting pretty tired of our shit, Brian.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm ahead of Brian by 25, and I know that because math.
Don't speak for me, CJ. You do not speak for me.
Yes, and you will not edit this out. This is a fan favorite, CJ.
Yeah.